Right friends, welcome back to 11th part of recap 2016 in news. We deliberated about the issue cabinet approved extending the validity of sugar control order for another 6 months. And here stock holding limits will be imposed. What is the purpose? To make available sugar to the general public at reasonable prices. So, stock holding limits will be imposed by the state governments because of the reason in recent times sugar prices increased by around 25 to 30%. Then financial sector and regulators, we deliberated about who regulates what. This is very important capsule. Reserve Bank of India is a monetary authority. It regulates money market. It is the regulator for foreign exchange transactions. It regulates currency, prepaid payment instruments like that. And another important aspect here is SEBI regulates several aspects. I listed out here: merchant banks, investment banks, capital markets, stock brokers, rates, InvITs. So these are all regulated by SEBI. We deliberated in separate capsule. Ease of doing business. India is disappointed because India's rank is 130 out of 190 countries, and India is not happy because India's goal is to reach 50 as early as possible. If you look at the Ross Sea, this is very important during the year. Ross Sea was declared as the world's largest marine protected area. Ross Sea is a part of Antarctic Ocean or Southern Ocean. This is very important. And this will be world's largest marine protected area, and we deliberated why Ross Sea is so important because it is home to 38% of world's penguins, Adelie penguins, like that. Please view this capsule. Then what will happen now? There will be ban on fishing for 35 years and other aspects we discussed. Carbon dioxide levels reached 400 parts per million or ppm. And here in 2016 it is going to exceed 400 ppm per full year. That is the news. And as per the report, it is also due to strong El Nino. What is meant by El Nino? We have listed here. Please go through it. Then because of human activities, greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, this chart you are familiar with several times. Then pre-industrial period temperature was 13.7 degrees centigrade average temperature, and now it is increased by almost 1 degree centigrade. Then S4A, we deliberated on scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed assets or S4A, and Hindustan Construction Company became the first company to get approval under S4A. Scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed assets. Here the debt is bifurcated into sustainable and unsustainable. Please view this. Then the three conditions are to be met. What are the conditions for S4A? Please go through this. Then simultaneous polls. We deliberated. What about simultaneous polls? And what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages or unanswered questions? We deliberated in one capsule. Please view that capsule. Then social unrest. Nowadays several agitations are coming up. Marathas in Maharashtra, then Patidars in Gujarat, Kapus in Andhra Pradesh. So what is the reason for this social unrest? We deliberated in detail. Agitations by various caste groups and why agitations started only in recent times, and demonetization. We deliberated around 4-5 capsules one after the other with regard to demonetization. What is meant by demonetization, and at the same time what are the positive aspects, negative aspects? We deliberated in detail. Trump, 45th President of USA. We deliberated subsequently several modules, that is what is meant by protectionism and how does it affect emerging market economies. Those things we deliberated. And 58th presidential elections were held, and Donald Trump is going to become 45th president. And how Donald Trump won, we gave several reasons for it. Please go through it. merit and demerit goods. People are talking about merit and demerit goods. What is meant by merit goods? What is meant by demerit goods? We have deliberated in detail. Then Sutless Yamuna Link Canal, because Supreme Court scrapped Punjab Termination of Water Agreements Act 2004, and this is as per Article 143(1) of the Constitution to look into the constitutional validity of the act. This presidential reference was made in 2004, and we deliberated salient points of the order by the Supreme Court Constitution Bench. Then end of globalism, one separate module, because nowadays many protectionist tendencies are coming up across the world. One example is Brexit, other example is Donald Trump victory, then nationalistic tendencies in France are coming up, and we deliberated what is the exact meaning of globalization, liberalization. Subsequently, there are various cases to strengthen our viewpoint. That is, one is Brexit, other one is victory of Donald Trump, like that. Then nationalist tendencies in France and situation in Germany. These things support the end of globalism. Then CMA1 at Marrakesh, subsequent to the acceptance or subsequent to the came into force of Paris Treaty, this CMA1 was held at Marrakesh. This is the first one after Paris Treaty came into force, and India's nationally determined contributions. You should have clear idea about these 4 points always. And at the same time, Marrakesh Action Proclamation for our climate and sustainable development. That means the developments in Marrakesh we deliberated in detail. Then CPEC is becoming a reality because Gwadar port was made operational. We deliberated on this in detail. What is the Gwadar port and factual information about CPEC. Then supermoon. Supermoon is the moon which appeared 14% bigger in size and 30% brighter, and we deliberated a separate capsule on this. And again you will see supermoon in 2034. And when full moon occurs on the day of perigee, that is the supermoon, we deliberated about differentiated banks, universal banks. What do you understand by universal banks? What do you understand by differentiated banks, payment banks, small finance banks? Because these are very, very important to have clear demarcation between universal banks and differentiated banks. Right friends, this is 11th part. Please do join for 12th and the last part, and please view these 12 parts because you can easily remember several aspects which happened during 2016. Have a nice day. Thank you.